Well, today on the bench in the Chironomid Pro Staff Series, I'm actually going to have Brent tie up a fly, and we've got a few more, great tires coming on a little later that are very advanced. But here's another beginner pattern that uses some new materials. Brent really likes his magic midge, as he calls it, and it's a really good pattern. We have used it. It's old school. It uses some really cool materials. So let's show you Brent's magic midge.
Good day, folks. Today on the bench, I'm going to tell you Brent's magic midge. This little fly, it's quite unique. I found some materials I thought would be quite unique. We have a glass bead, glow in the dark in the front. We've got an underbody of black and wine color, and an overbody of Stretch Magic. I used to use Stretch Magic, now I use a different product. But anyway, this will give you a bit of an idea how that looks in the water. That is pretty natural in my opinion. You got it looks like the gases outside of the chironomid there. You've got your black and your reds throwing through there nicely. So, and a glow in the dark bead when you're fishing it in lower water, darker water. That fish will key in, or they'll see that a little easier than some of the other naturals that are in the water. So let's get a hook in the vise, and I'll show you the materials we need to tie with. Start with here. This is a very simple pattern to do, like a lot of chironomids are. This is a size 12 curved nymph hook. I'm going to tie with some black 6/0 thread. I'm going to use my rib. Is going to be a holographic tinsel. This is a wine color. You can use red. I like the wine. It's not quite as bright, a little more subtle. And the overbody is stretchy cord. Now this is 0.5 millimeter, as you can see. When I did this fly originally, I used Stretch Magic. This is just a product I found in a bead section of a craft store. The Stretch Magic over time will turn white. It will not stay clear. This stretchy cord always remains clear, so that is something you want to keep in mind. It's for basically building these little bracelets. You can see the little gals make that at the craft shop, so works good on here. You'll be surprised sometime what you can find in looking around craft stores and different places for different materials you can make flies out of. So there's a million kinds of chironomids out there, of course, and lots of good patterns. I just wanted to show you one of mine, and it does work quite well too. We fished this fly for many years. I don't fish it weighted. I've got either my swivel, and if I need more weight, I'm going to use some split shot up in my tippet knot to get it down. I like a lot of my flies unweighted. They just seem to wiggle better. They're more natural. I'm pulling this stretchy material down really hard. I'm making it as thin as possible. These hooks that I've got here are actually a little thicker than I like to use too. You can get thinner shank hooks, lighter wire, and you can get a little thinner, but this is going to make a fairly nice thin body. We just give it a little bit of a taper. We're also going to get a lot more of the taper when we use the stretchy material going to the top. Okay, I'm just going to put a 1/2 inch in there just to hold things in place. A few turns. My holographic tinsel, you're going to get a little bit of glint. You'll notice the wine does not show as quite as bright as the red. It's still, you get a little sparkle there, you can see it. It's there. Throw another 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to go to my thread post and wind this on my rotary vise. So we're pulling it down pretty tight here at the back. And then as we keep wrapping forward, I'm just going to take a little tension off, a little more tension off, and you can see how it's starting to change the color, get a lot clearer up front, and it looks like the gas that is trapped in these chironomids coming up. You don't need any solar res on this or anything else. That is it. It is such an easy fly to tie. It's a really, really good little pattern. Chironomid guys, or anybody likes to fish chironomids, this one looks a little different from the angle. You can see it picking up, looks almost like a chromie at some point, and trapping those air bubbles. And as you can see with that fly, I'll just bring it out of the water here again. To me it looks, let me get that zoomed in for you. It looks really good in the water. So here's one, there's kind of a good sample over there. You can see a lot of the red or the black. So it really depends on what angle they're looking at it, but it's all in there for you. It's a simple little pattern, and you chironomid guys are going to have a good time with this one, and it's easy to wrap. I really like this fly, Brent's Magic Midge. So good luck with this one. Hope to see you in the water.
To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.